Hi, this is Owens Trading here. We're just gonna be going over a basic strategy and why you're not succeeding in trading. So we're just gonna be going over just some ideas of there is a strategy that I'll go over, but we'll just go over some ideas on how to construct a strategy and how to be successful. So the one thing you need to think about when constructing the strategy is what time frame you're gonna have it on, because this is very important for your lifestyle. Like if you're in school, work. Like me personally, I'm in high school, so I prefer to trade on like a 12 hour. Let's go to toilet. I like 12 hours, 6 hour, 4 hour. Those are mainly what I trade on. I do have automated algorithms that do trade on 5 minutes. If you can do the shorter time frames, maybe during summers or breaks, weekends, they are extremely profitable, way more profitable than the higher time frames, just because of the variance that happens intraday. So there's that to think about, and the strategy is what time frame. Another thing to think about is the indicators that you're going to be using. That's very important, of course. A good way to find some good indicators is Trading View. Just go Community, go to Scripts. You could go to the Pine Script Wizards. They're just like people who are, well known in the community. You can kind of just click on any of these people. This is actually one of the indicators that we're going to be using today is by UCS Gears. He's Pine Script Wizards, so he does pretty good stuff. Actually, I would look at this. His stuff's really good, of course, but that's not what we're talking about today. I also have a playlist on my channel if you want to check out some of those indicators. Of course, I've only released one so far, but we're gonna be adding a bunch more. But yeah. So indicators, yeah. Risk management, of course. So it's important to be having a stop loss on every trade, at least every trade that you can. But yeah, so there should be ideal and then emergency stop losses. So ideal is normally closures below something, while emergency is a wick. So you'd close that intraday. So like for this example, let's say this would be our closure stop loss. Let's say we bought in like right here. If we had closure below this, it's like trade's done. It's whatever. But that requires a closure. So what happens if intraday we just dump like all the way down here? That's why we need to have these emergency stop losses. So you'd set that slightly lower on some other type of support and resistance, or just whatever you've come up with. And then if intraday we end up coming down to that, you just close the trade either way. So it's important to have both of those. You should have specific rules and a plan for how trades are going to be entered and exited. Excuse me. So yeah, that's going to be important. You need to have those written down and in the books to make sure that you do know exactly, just so that emotion isn't a part of this strategy. You want it to be just as true to the backtesting as it can be. Going over backtesting, this is a strategy that I've laid out. Of course, this works on like any time frame, 12-hour, daily, 5-minute, 1 minute. I backtest on the 5 minute because I have it as one of my algorithms. So this is one of the strategies that I do use. So we're going to be using a stochastic from UCS Gears right here. Just look up stochastic. Right here, you can find it. Scroll down by Stochastic Momentum Index by UCS Gears. Extremely effective. Excuse me, I'm still getting over my sickness, but yeah. So it works a little differently. It has like -40 plus 40 0 for the lines. So we'd be looking for crosses under -40. So yeah, that would be this bottom green line. Our exit is going to be on the PMARP. PMARP by the Caretaker. He has extremely good stuff. I would also check out him for some indicators. If you go to settings, it's the exact same thing. Just exact same thing as the default. Just make sure that it is under the price moving average ratio percentile, not the price moving average ratio. They're quite different indicators, as you can see. Look. Yeah, just make sure it's on the percentile. And for risk management, if you guys don't know how to plot your own support and resistance and like swing highs and lows, look up Lux Algo. He has some good stuff. He has just a lot of indicators, but it's support and resistance lines with breaks. So yeah, just throw that on there. And just if you get a closure below like blue ones, or a wick below a excuse me, if you get a wick below a lower one or a closure above a different one, the first one is for closures. The bottom ones are for swing lows. Wick lows. So yeah, that is the strategy. Here is the back testing of it. So I only recorded I think 30 trades or so, but you got over a period of I think 2-3 days. There's a net profit of 3.73%. That's at least what I had. About a 80% win rate, so it's extremely effective. It has a very high probability trades. So I estimated about 1.24% per day, at least the per days that I traded it. So yeah, it's really effective. If you were to trade it every single day of the month, you would be looking at about 37% per month. So yeah, it's extremely effective. Of course, these are just probabilities and statistics. It's not certainty, so don't quote me on the 37% per month. But yeah, if you were to either automate this or just be at your computer for the majority of the day, you would be able to start achieving these types of numbers. So we can just get into some examples. Make sure you have both these things on your chart. Go ahead, flip over to a 5-minute. I have all the trades recorded on this chart, I believe. Yes, I do. Yeah, we'll just go over a few of these. So we want to look for a cross right here below the green line. So we got one on this closure right here. So we entered the trade on this candle and then closed it on this candle because the PMRP is over 75 right here. This is per closure, by the way, not intraday. So we ended up with a profit of 0.19% in about an hour. So that's pretty solid. I mean, a small winner, but still a winner. With another trade that fired off right here. Right there. And we got a closure right here for a profit of 0.86%. So almost 1% there. Of course, you closed it on the closure above 75 right there. So yeah, in almost an hour, another 1%. So this strategy is really good. I would actually highly recommend it for you guys. If we go another one right here, you got an entry right there and an exit up here for a profit of 0.34% in about 30 minutes. It's crazy, guys. You got another one right there. Entered on this candle, and we closed on this candle right here. So for about 0.5% right there in about an hour and a half. So yeah, that's this strategy. Let's try to find an example where it's actually losing for a closure below. This, for example, this works. So let's just go over this one. So we got an entry on this candle right here. So we would have entered right here, and then since this one had its range of lows right in there, we'd probably be using these red ones right here from this previous candle. So yeah, if you don't see one of these blue lines under your trade, you want to look for a previous red one that's kind of in the general idea of where it should be. So for this, we entered on this, and then we didn't end up getting our exit condition, so we would have had to emergency close it on this candle right here because we got a closure below that red line. So that, of course, would be a minus 0.28%. So yeah, it really is a great strategy. I would highly recommend you guys to do it. I will link both of those, all 3 of those indicators in the description. And yeah, we'll definitely be going over more strategies. I'll give you just general ideas for it. Of course, you can apply it for yourself, do your own back testing. When back testing these strategies, just make sure to write down all of the trades, put down the bars taken, so time taken. Calculate a nice win rate out of that. Put out the means of all the numbers. So what's the average trade? For this, the average trade's 0.20%. So it's pretty solid. Yeah, feel free to use that strategy. It's one that I use, so it's highly tested. Yeah, thank you for watching.